Hello, grade 2 learners. I hope that every one of you is active, good, and healthy. Discover? What are we going to discover in this PowerPoint presentation? You are going to tell me. We are going to inquire to figure out the topic of today's lesson. But I'll give you a trick. Our lesson for today is a grammar lesson. And now is your turn to start discovering, inquiring, and investigating. Fall, watch, toss, pull, spill, lift up. What are these words? Can you remind me? Super job! These are action verbs or action words. Exactly! And now, let's refresh our minds and remember together what action verbs are. Action verbs are words that show action and tell what someone or something is doing. And now we are going to discuss more action verbs. So, the tense of a verb tells when the action takes place. So, action verbs have tenses, and these tenses are responsible to tell us when the action took place, or when did the action occur, or the time of this action. Of course, the tenses are many and have many types, but for this week, we are going to study the present tense verbs only, and these present tense verbs tell about actions that happen now only. We have to always remember that a present tense verb must agree with the subject, so the verb should agree with the subject. And here are few rules on the present tense. The first rule says that we add an S to most verbs if the subject is singular. But if the subject is I, you, and we do not add an S for the verb. Rule number 2. We add ES if the verbs that end with S, CH, SH, or X. And finally, rule number 3, we do not add an S or ES if the subject is a plural. And now, let's practice together some examples on the present tense rules. I look. We can't add an S because the subject is I. Ali looks. We add an S to the verb to become looks because the subject is singular. You see. We cannot add an S because the subject is you. The cat sees. We add an S to the verb see to become sees because the subject is singular. The kids sleep. We cannot add an S to the verb sleep because we have the subject is a plural noun. Sarah sleeps. We add an S to the action verb sleep to become sleeps because the subject before the verb is a singular noun. We eat. We do not add an S for eat because the subject is we. And finally, Sam eats. We add an S to the verb eat to become eats because the subject Sam is singular noun. And now, let's apply the present tense rules in your assignment. So I want you to please solve pages 51, 56, 57, 59, and 60 in your grammar booklet. Thank you so much, and I hope that you will send me your homework as soon as possible. Goodbye.